So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining in at such a short notice, of course. I think we sent the email blast on Monday, and it's so wonderful to have you here so late in the evening. You must have finished work, finished your dinner and everything, and I really appreciate you joining in. And I'll certainly make it worth your while. We are going to discuss about our technology courses, which is basically the Python, AI, and the cybersecurity. Okay, and I know you may have a lot of questions about it, and I do want to share the philosophy, the rationale, what results, and everything. So stay tuned. Any questions, please chat them. We have a wonderful webinar hostess, Maui. She's amazing. She'll make sure all the questions are answered. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. Okay. So Maui, can you see my screen?
Yes, coach.
Okay. So basically, the theme for our technology courses is building projects empowered by innovation. Okay, so it's all about innovation, cutting edge research and opportunities for a better future. And what I have seen with the college admissions, with my students and with the other counselors is that colleges look for passion projects. Okay, colleges look for students who have made an effort to solve a real life problem or who've learned a topic very deeply and they've shown outcome towards it. So that is what we've tried to do here with this program. Okay, every program that we have created, it always has a result in the outcome. There is a project, there is a presentation, there are like tangible results that you can mention it in your college application. Got it? That's it, period. You will write it in your supplemental essay, you will write it in your extracurricular activities. Okay, so that's what is the theme. So about us, today it's the two of us, me and Lucky. Unfortunately, Dr.Sarda Prasad had an emergency. Because of that, he couldn't be here, but we will answer all your questions that are there. A bit about me. I was an immigrant. I am an immigrant. I studied in India, and I was so frustrated with the lack of clarity in the college admission process or programs to enrich my older son and everything. I really had to struggle to sort of find those programs. So I sort of made it my mission to demystify the process. So any information that I have, I will freely share it with you. Okay, so that's what it is. And I want you to share it with everybody else that's out there. Sharing is caring. Okay, so of course, I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach, executive functioning coach. I did my college counseling from UC Berkeley. I was mentored by Evelyn Alexander. She's one of the leading college planners, counselors in the United States. Okay, and I'm also a meditation instructor. So we have Lucky here, Lakshman. He is the CTO of 01 Analytics and Nerd Boy. He also happens to be my husband. He has a master's degree from Harvard. He was part of the Dean's List. He's had over 25 years of full stack experience. He's also a patent holder. So technology courses are hard to create. And so Lucky is the course creator for for our technology programs, he works very closely with the instructors to sort of come up with the lesson plan. It's like in coordination with them and what projects students can do and everything. And our Python project, Python program that we released in spring was such a hit. And the credit goes to Lucky for creating a wonderful lesson plan. And out of the 14 students, all of them did their project. 13 students presented, and it was pretty amazing, the kind of output that they did and the projects that Lucky had selected. So it's all on YouTube. I can share the link, but let me get started with what we have planned for summer. Okay, so this is the agenda. Student successes. I wanted to share my student successes. The reason why I'm so passionate about Python is because my student incorporated Python in her biomed research program. She used that research to get into MIT's internship, and subsequently she went and got into Stanford, right? So research and all these projects are a basis that I've seen success in all my students. Johns Hopkins, the student got full ride. Okay, UC Berkeley, my student did research. He did the author program. He authored a book. He gave all the proceeds to ACOM. He got into UC Berkeley, UC Davis, everywhere. Cornell, Kelvin got into Cornell. He was my research and my counseling student. Sahasra is again research and my counseling student who got into Carnegie Mellon. Sai got into St. Louis University with 125K scholarship, BSMD program. He got into all colleges, University of Southern California. Pramodini, she comes back to my research program because she's such an expert in BioRender. We use BioRender as a tool to draw pictures in our research. And I'm going to come up with another tool that students can draw the real pictures for their cybersecurity project for their research paper. Every year, every session, I get Pramodini to come and show how to use BioRender to create their own pictures. She created a wonderful research program. She got into NYU pre-med program. Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt student also was my research program. He did research on African river blindness, right? So all the topics that were picked were by the students. I saw the passion. I saw the dedication that they put in. They need guidance, right? These kids are like pretty amazing. They're like fertile soil. They just need that kind of guidance to blossom. And I'm here to provide that. I just love working with students because you see that instant gratification with them. You teach them something, they go apply it and come back and they do 10x times that, right? So that is why I just love working with teams. Okay, so why technology programs? I mean, why should I create a technology program? I could have just stuck with biomed and business, right? No. It all started because my son, he just graduated last week from Georgia Tech. He graduated in 2.5 years. So basically, he did a lot of research in crypto when he was in high school. And by the way, Gifted Gapper was started by him. He worked with Dr. Raj. He worked in creating an AI model Python coding for prediction of glioblastoma, which is brain tumor. So he wrote Python code to predict whether a patient needs that intrusive, biopsy or something like that. He worked with both Dr. Apau and Ram Prasad, who are like AI experts, and that got him interested into biomed field. He's actually a computer graduate. Then he graduated and he did his internship in Moderna. So that was something that was like, I saw the instant results and I thought like, oh my God, Python is such a versatile language. You will get to see his case study. It's not very pretty yet. I have Maui who's working towards making it look much better, but he did give me a summary of it. He wrote this complete, he did this. Dr. Raj gave him all the MRI, DCIM images, and he guided in that. And it was basically looking at the MRI images and predicting a bunch of AI code, a bunch of Python code to predict if that particular patient needed biopsy or not. AI is very, very heavily used in in the medical field for prediction. And I mean, before AI is Python, which is very, very, very important, right? So that was one of the reasons why I resisted starting a Python course, because I always wanted to give advanced courses. But then I saw that my students were failing the assessment tests in Python. And I was like, no, this problem needs to be fixed, right? So that's what it is. And I just want to give you a little bit insight into my secret to success for students, of course. Two things is, one is deep learning, right? Deep learning and a success mindset, right? When students come, they are like, so, oh my God, how am I going to do a research paper? Or how am I going to create a project? But we need that. We need that mindset, success mindset, that no matter what, we are going to reach that finish line, right? And I want my students to be confused. I want my students to be uncomfortable, okay? And they have to be like Alice in Wonderland, where they go and get stuck and confused. That's what happened to students in my Python bootcamp. They were thoroughly sort of they wanted to reach that goal of creating their own project, and they pushed themselves to get to that finish line to create the project, and they gave beautiful presentation on that. It is there in them. Okay, they all have the success mindset. It just needs to be brought out to the surface. And deep learning. I keep hearing from parents and students that they are struggling with the AP courses and the course load, right? Because they never learned that rigor of learning something deeply. That's not something that's taught in school. You can't blame the schools for that. It's projects that you do that forces you to learn something deeply. Okay, to concentrate and focus deeply. And that really teaches you the skill and discipline to take on higher courses like the honors and the AP courses. So that is the secret recipe. If anybody were to ask you, it's these two things. And all my programs instill these skills. Okay. And another thing that I do with my courses is they are forced to enhance deep concentration, like get study skills. Whatever I teach them study skills, right? Some way or the other, I insert it in my teaching. And also they work with experts, right? When you're working with a professor or an expert, they are at a completely different level, okay? And you have to bridge that gap, right? The student has to bridge the gap, because working with such experts is like a great amount of expectations. So they bridge that gap, right? They have to learn to bridge that gap. And that's the opportunity that we provide. And of course, acquire deep learning, right? When a student presented in Python, he said, you know what? I had difficulty learning threading, but I didn't give up. I went to Google. I struggled to learn threading, but that's one single thing that I can tell you that I learned from the Python course, right? So that's the kind of challenge. Without giving them that challenge, you cannot expect them to sort of perform out of nothing, right? So that's the opportunity that we're giving them. And of course, we produce tangible, measurable results. Got it? So every program has a project at the end. There is a presentation. If it's a research, then I help them submit the research paper. Got it? So tangible results. And of course, they are forced to give oral presentation. That's very, very important to teach these young teens how to present in public. Yes, we don't have in person, it's online, but they learn how to create a presentation. They learn how to present and how to talk in public. That's also a very important skill to develop that personality, right? So these are the 5 things that are incorporated in my program. Any questions, please chat away. Maui will get to them, and we will make sure that all your questions are answered. Okay. Okay, so to recap, The winning strategy or the formula is immersion and compressed learning in a very short interval of time. Okay, this is something that I learned from Tony Robbins. I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. And if you go to his program, it's intense. Got it? It's like very short amount of time. You are forced to cram in a lot of theories, a lot of knowledge. He just takes you in there and he puts you in a ringer, right? So that's when the learning happens. And this experience forces anybody to flex the muscle called their brain. Got it? If we drag it out for like 6 months or a year, the interest just wanes, right? But if you sort of push them into learning in this summer, you will see how productive they get, right? I've been to Tony Robbins events. It's intense. There's no sleep. You're starved. He makes you jumps and everything. But then when you come out, you've learned so much out of that experience that you wouldn't have learned in that amount. It's that's what I'm trying to recreate, and it has worked with my students. It has worked in my spring Python bootcamp and all my programs that I have. Okay, so any questions about my methodology, please type away. I know it's not something that you may be familiar with. It's the methodology that I use is based on my learnings from my mentor, Peg Dawson, who's leading psychologist, Tony Robbins and everything. And it has worked. And that is what I do. And if you have any questions or concerns, please type away. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the 3 programs that we are focused on. Yes, we have other programs, but today we are focused on the technology related programs, which is the AI, the Python Bootcamp, Cybersecurity with Dr. Sarda Prasad, who is a professor in Villanova. Okay. So how is our program designed? I did go over it. It's results driven. So there will be a project. For cybersecurity, there is a project and they will write research on that. I have the template. I have certain places where they can publish. So whatever is their learning and the project that they did, they will put it into a format that I will teach them. So I will show you how it's built, okay? And then a bridge programs, we call it a bridge program because it's not run by a professor or it's not an advanced program. It's AI and Python. So again, Python has a project. AI also has a wonderful project at the end. So they are all project driven or results driven, okay? And of course, they are going to be mentored and guided by the experts in the field. Dr. Sarda Prasad is from Indian Institute of Science and IIT. I mean, he has brains from head to toes. He's an expert in cybersecurity, crypto security. So kids are going to learn from him. And Ram Prasad is a very leading Udemy teacher. He's taught over 6,000 people on Udemy through his courses. He's been with Gifted Gapper from the past 3 years. Ever since I started the AI program, Ram Prasad has been running it. So he is an industry expert. He will be teaching the Python as well, Python and AI courses. He's the expert that we have. And of course, you will have a real life project that you will create. None of them are fictional. They will try to solve a real life problem. And I'll show you what they typically solve in Python, in AI, and in cybersecurity. Okay. And here is the best part. You get to present to colleges these projects as a passion project. Okay, so that's very, very important. Colleges want to see a student having spent that amount of time in trying to acquire knowledge, applying them, right? That's very, very important, and showing tangible results, right? So that is what you get to do it. You will be able to put it in your extracurricular activity as a line item. Then you will be able to talk about it in your supplemental essays. If you're applying to Stanford, they have a prompt for their supplemental essay, which is intellectual idea. What is your intellectual idea that you have done? You will speak about this project. Got it? So it's like it hits many, many, many notes, and it's a real life problem that you're trying to solve. Okay, so any questions about the passion project, please type away. I have a secret bonus that I'm going to announce at the end. Uh, so yeah, so hang in there, don't leave quickly. Okay, and then we submit for publishing. Only research paper on cybersecurity will be allowed for publishing. Other programs are not, because they are not research driven. They're not run by a professor. So we cannot publish them because research needs to be done under a professor or a PhD. Got it? So that's why it is. And this is one thing that I really, really want my students to prepare for. There are a lot of AI competitions on Kaggle dataset. You can't do them alone. So we want to start a group or a cohort of people. And Ram Prasad is going to teach students how to prepare for the Kaggle competition as a part of our AI program. That is one of the modules which I'm going to show you. So that is something that I'm looking to build, like a group of students who can participate in these competitions. It looks excellent on a college profile. Got it? And you can use these projects for science fairs, for Intel's Regeneron STS. You can submit them. Regeneron STS is Intel's research, where students can submit their research paper or projects when they are in the senior year. You can use this, and I have the template for that as to how to apply for that. Got it? So these are the 6 things. Any questions about the process, please let me know. I'll address them. Okay, now I have a question for you. Can you see how powerful this strategy is for success? Do you think that this strategy will work? What are your thoughts about it? Say a yes, no, thumbs up, give me some love. What are your thoughts about it? Maui, how's the crowd doing? If I
It
look
says
at the
definitely. A
great.
thumbs up.
Yeah, if I start looking at the chat, I get so distracted. I have ADHD and I'm all over the place. So I'm not going to look at the chat, but Maui will let us know. So any questions, put them away. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about each program. I'll go in detail. You will have an opportunity to, I'm going to unmute you. You can unmute yourself and speak, and also type your questions. Okay, for the Summer Python program, why did we create this Python bootcamp? And it's a bootcamp style. Got it? I resisted because it was too much work. I didn't want to do it. But then what happened is they sort of failed the Python assessment test. You know, there's also an aspect of doing AI projects in our research program, right? For our biomed research with Dr. Apavu, or even the AI course, they did not pass the proficiency test. And we know from the pandemic that self-learning technical courses is not entirely the best strategy. And that's why I was forced to, because it was so heartbreaking to tell the students, hey, you know, you're not good enough. I mean, that's like the worst thing that I can ever tell my student. And I had to fix this problem, right? And I went to, of course, my husband who's an expert, and I asked him, and that's how he created the outline of the program. And our spring was stupendous. The 14 students who joined us did an amazing job. I have a recording on the YouTube, the final presentation, and the kind of projects that they created. It was darn amazing. I was like, am I sitting in a high schooler's presentation, or am I somewhere else? Right? That is the level of like proficiency that they gained in such a short amount of time. Okay, and so the 5-day boot camp, it is a bridge program. You can't just skip into AI or ML directly without having Python or R. These are the 2 languages that are absolutely essential for research and data analysis. And Python is a very, very, very versatile language, and it's so important to have that. Got it? It's run by Ram Prasad. And also, I just want to show you his reviews on Udemy. So Ram Prasad runs a lot of Udemy courses. He's taught about 6,800, so many students. He's gotten reviews. He's an exceptional mentor and a tutor, right? We always look for the best teachers who are passionate, not just for that subject, but they need to teach. They need to teach curious high schoolers, right? You need to have that kind of patience. And Ram Prasad is amazing. From the past 3 years, he's been doing that. And I love his wife does the sustainability. She's an architect. We ran a sustainability effort with her. So they're an amazing couple. And yeah, so that's Ram Prasad. So these are the dates. You will see them on the website as well. It's June, Monday to Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. EST. We have all our sessions in the evening because during the daytime, high school students, if they are applying to colleges, then they have a lot of other internships, shadowing, so many other activities that they have. So we always have this in the evening. It's a 5-day bootcamp, and we give them projects, and the project planning is on the Wednesday, June 21st. And then there'll be a final presentation. We will determine the final date where we invite all the parents, and it's like a ceremony and they come and present it. Okay, so any questions about the 5-day boot camp, please let me know. I'm rushing through this, but you will have the schedule. This is what they're going to learn. I'm going to go day by day. Right. The first day is about the introduction, Python installation, the basic types of Python. They'll have a project and a homework every day, beautifying a Python program. It's very, very, very practical. They can go straight from this course to the workforce. It's that practical. It's not like theory kind of a thing. Okay, so this is the first session. The second session is all about the loops, and then string manipulation and all the advanced data types and everything is the second day. And of course, they will have a homework on the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, the third day is about the advanced topics, the list and the data frames, the functions, all these kind of things. And also the homework will be like, they will be provided an algorithm, a sorting algorithm to implement in the array of numbers. Got it? So that is day 3 that is there. And students do need to put in a lot of work along with that. It's like you have to put in that kind of effort. And on the 4th day, it's about file operations, where it's like the CSV file, they read and write, the JSON, the Excel, like all of those things they do on day 4. On day 5, they are introduced to AI, ML, cybersecurity libraries. Python is all about the libraries, knowing the libraries, what to call, the API calls, all those kind of things. And Lucky is here. You get to ask questions, and he can add more things to it as well. So that is what is there. The 5 days they will learn. And then on the 6th day, they will brainstorm projects. We do give them a list of projects that they can pick from, and they will work on it. It's all about creation. It's all about conceptualizing, right? They have to put into use what they have learned to create a project. And that is the secret sauce. When a child does something on their own, right? So that is what they do. They brainstorm their topic. They come to the class and they say, this is the topic that I'm picking. I'm going to be doing in this direction. And Ram Prasad will provide them feedback on this. Okay. And then there's going to be a final presentation. Okay, now is a question. Do you agree that Python course is foundational? What are your thoughts about a Python course? What are your thoughts about it? Like, please type away, right? I tell my students, any research you want to do, any numbers you want to crunch, Python is absolutely important, right? If you want to do even cybersecurity, here we don't have a prerequisite of knowing Python with cybersecurity. But if you have learned Python, then you can create a project incorporating your Python skills in the cybersecurity. We would welcome that. It's only going to enhance your learning, enhance your profile. Got it? I had students who've gotten into Virginia Tech cybersecurity. Virginia Tech is an amazing college, of course, for engineering, and they have a cybersecurity major. And it's so competitive to get into that program, right? And this will give you a leg up into creating a wonderful profile. Okay. So yeah.
And they agree with you, coach? They say yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next I'm going to explain about the AI program, the way it's structured. So there will be 9 sessions, and Ram Prasad will handhold students from scratch. Okay, and they will build a real life AI project. And of course, we want them to sort of participate in competitions, in Kaggle competitions, or anywhere outside. If I find out, then I will share that opportunity. Of course, we have a wonderful expert, Ram Prasad, who'll teach that. These are the dates that are there. You will find the detailed dates online. We will have makeup sessions, so please don't panic or worry. Summer is an important time. During the school days, they have their academics, their deliverables, AP classes, AP courses, honors classes, tests and exams. So summer is a good time to sort of catch up on building your profile. Okay, so this is how I'm going to talk about each and every session, what they learn. You will find that online as well. I will put the detailed lesson plan, right? And again, I have no fear. Anybody can copy my stuff, but this is something that's been created in real life. Right, so that's important. They learn about the AI libraries, the Kaggle data set, plotting libraries in Python. The first 2 classes are advanced Python for AI, right? Python is foundational for AI, ML, natural language processing. So that's what they're going to learn. Again, the libraries in Python, plotting libraries in Python, that is the second session. The third session is Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, Probability, Statistics, Machine and Deep Learning. This is a different deep learning, and of course the natural language processing that they learn in the third session. In the fourth session, it's again AI and ML fundamentals. Supervised algorithms, regression, classification, all that. If you have more questions, Lucky will answer them. I'm not that technical. Ram Prasad created this whole lesson plan. Then there's data exploring, cleaning, visualizing, building the first model with Rapid Miner. That is in session 5. Okay, and in session 6, they're going to build a machine language model to predict house prices. They will get data from Kaggle dataset. They will download, they will clean the housing data, and they will build a model to predict the housing prices in the US. That is the Kaggle dataset competition that I was mentioning about, right? So this is Ram Prasad is an expert in that, and he's a wonderful teacher. So one of my students who went through this program actually created a model to predict a student's acceptance to college, right? So he was a senior and he was part of it. He got into many good schools. So that was his passion. And my student who did an AI project actually ended up going to a business school, Kelly Business School, but he was extremely smart, right? It was business and computer science that he was planning to major in, and he was part of this program. Okay, in session 7, they're going to learn how to build a machine learning model to predict the best video games, right? Predict the future of the video game. That's so cool, right? I mean, I want to sit in these classes. It's so interesting, right? So that's session 7. And then session 8, they're going to start talking about their project, which project they're going to pick, how they're going to fine tune their project. I mean, they will be starting working on their project much earlier, but here they're going to fine tune it and see how they can enhance it and everything with Ram Prasad. And of course, there is a final project presentation. I give them a template. Ram Prasad helps them with that, but I have my own template, a 5 or a 6 slide template that I teach my students how to present, what problem that they're trying to solve and everything. And I expect my students to take the same presentation and go to their counselors and teachers to present it there. Guess what happens when they present their project there? It reflects on their recommendations. Got it? Because teachers are looking for intellectual curiosity, and a student demonstrates that, it's going to reflect in their recommendation, right? So they can use this to go present it anywhere. Their project, they can submit it anywhere. So that's what they get out of this AI project. Any questions about AI? I mean, do you want your child to conceptualize and create an AI project? How many here want to do that? Got it? Yeah. So that's what my son wants to pursue AI and ML in his master's. Although he graduated from Georgia Tech, he is going back to do his master's, and he plans to go back to Moderna to apply all his learnings there in the biomed or wherever he is going. So that, yeah. So who here wants to create a project? Hands up. Okay, yes. Okay, so let's go. Yes, Sufia Patel, I will address your question, certainly. Yeah. So that was the AI. And now my PhD resistance, my new creation, cybersecurity. So I have to tell you this funny story that happened. I started talking to Dr. Sarda Prasad, but then he got too technical for me, and I was struggling with what he had to say. He had a lot of wonderful ideas, but I couldn't keep up. And that's when I asked Lucky to sort of help me out. And he did a great job in creating the whole lesson plan with Dr. Sarda Prasad. Dr. Sarda Prasad will be delivering, but I mean, the whole thing is trying to get to the level of high school students. And of course, these professors will be teaching the curriculum that they teach in college for undergrad. Dr. Prasad teaches cybersecurity in Villanova. So it is the same curriculum that he will teach here for high school students. Just like Dr. Harini does for business, Dr. Prasad is going to use the same curriculum for cybersecurity. Okay, so I'm going to go over the different components. I did request him if students can write a research paper, and he gave templates, research paper templates that I'm going to teach. They will go to Dr. Prasad to learn about the concepts of cybersecurity. We don't want to waste time there writing. I teach them how to write the research paper. Got it? So whatever they learn there, I teach them every week. It's a very structured program where I teach them how to write the introduction, the body, the conclusion, the abstract, the hypothesis, what pictures need to go there, what graphs need to be done, everything. And then once they write the paper, they go back to the professor to show it. Right? So we have split our responsibilities so that we are more efficient. Because what used to happen is, our earlier program, when I started, students would start writing their paper after everything was done. And then they got very overwhelmed trying to write a 4,000 word research paper. And that's the feedback they gave it to me. So we do that in chunks, right? So we start deciding, we start creating an outline. We sort of know what topic we are going to write on, and they can change their topic any number of times. I tell them, think about the general area you want to do research on and start doing it, because they don't know what they're going to do. And then you can decide the topic, or you start on a topic, you want to change that. It's perfectly fine, because it's all about learning, making mistakes, making more mistakes, and learning, right? So that's what we have here. Okay. And this is Dr. Prasad. He's pretty young. He graduated from IIT, Indian Institute of Science, and then he did his PhD here. And he's an expert in blockchain, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. He's an assistant professor in Villanova. And Dr. Prasad has his own website, which is pretty amazing. You can look over here. All his publications are here. His activities are here, whatever he's done, his research, his publication. Yeah, and basically the courses that he teach, his activities, his academics, everything is here from here. Okay, so this is Dr. Prasad. And I'm so blessed to have found such wonderful teachers. I mean, I just wish my older son had all these opportunities, or I had when I was growing up, right? So yes, yeah, and the topics that are covered, I know I'm just going over. My husband is like, "Why do you kill people with like 60 slides?" I'm like, "How can you explain anything in 10 slides?" Right? So that's why. So please bear with me. I want to give you as much details as possible because we spent that much time in creating the program. We might as well explain everything to you. So the first session is on introduction to cybersecurity. They learn about the different threats, the security tools, and everything that is there, denial of service and everything. And then understanding the computer systems, right? Deeply, LAN, WAN, everything, the components and all that is taught in the second session. The third session is about software security, the different kind of threats that is there. I mean, my son explained to me what he learned in Georgia Tech in one of the courses where the professor taught them how easy it was to hack a system and everything. It was so interesting what he had to tell me, right? So they're going to learn about all of that, all these kind of software threats and everything. Then in the fourth session, of course, it's network security, about TCP IP protocols, firewall, intrusion, all the protocols that are there in the session 4. Session 5 and 6 is all about cryptography. It's a pretty complex topic in which Dr. Prasad will spend 2 sessions teaching all of that. I can get pretty much a lot of that. The encryption, the authentication, the ciphers, all that they will learn in session 5 and 6. Okay, and session 7 is about creating a project, how they will come and brainstorm as to how they can convert or sort of create a project from their learnings. Dr. Prasad is going to teach them how to create a project, which will of course be a passion project, which you can highlight in your college application. Okay, and of course, the session 8, they're going to discuss about components of writing a paper, a research paper, right? Like how to structure it, what are the components that they can have in their research paper, what they can highlight and everything. It will be an individual research paper. It's not like they have to get it done on July 27th. It takes time to write. They will submit the paper to us for final review, and I show them how to submit it to different publications. We have 2 good publications. There are much more that are there, but these 2 have been successful. Jazz at STEM and JSR is where they will be submitting their papers. Okay. Any questions, please let me know, or please chat away. Then there'll be a final presentation, of course. We will determine a time. It'll be typically on a weekend so that all you parents can come and attend, siblings can come and see their presentation. It's a big honor because they would have contributed a lot. I mean, I get to see these students becoming a butterfly from a cocoon. I mean, when they come to the class, they're like, my God, I don't know much. They want to hide under the table. But then when they present, it's like, are these high school students or PhD students? You will be blown away with the kind of contribution. Every child wants to succeed. Okay, it's just the right amount of guidance and mentorship and showing them the way to do that. And that's exactly what we do. I extract it out of them. And you can say that because the amount of torture that I get. Oh, did you submit this? Oh, this is due today. That is due today. We have a program coordinator for every course. We're going to track progress of every student. Got it? So we will have all that very, 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 very organized. Got it? So there are 2 options for the cybersecurity research. One is just the research. Another, you can enroll in the Python programming, which Ram Prasad will conduct, at which time you will be able to incorporate a project with Python. You can ask Lucky, he will answer those questions. I don't know much about this part of it. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. You can pick one of them. Okay. So schedule for research, cybersecurity research, it'll all be on the website when you're enrolling. This is the schedule with Dr. Prasad, June 27th to July 29th. There's no class on the July 4th weekend. Everybody takes off. And this is my schedule. Don't worry if you miss. We have a lot of classes padded in. Mondays and Wednesdays, I teach them how to write a research paper. So don't worry about that. We have many makeup sessions and everything will be clearly conveyed to you. We have learning management portals and everything. Students love to come to my class. They don't miss any of the sessions. Okay. I've seen students logging in from everywhere. So don't worry. We will mentor them to the finish line. So this is another schedule, pretty looking schedule broken down. And this is my schedule. And of course, the classes are from 9 to 10 p.m. Please don't think that no child goes to sleep at 10. We know them. They have their own schedule. Their summer schedule is 3 a.m., right? They don't wake up in the morning. Got it? and also a lot of them have activities and courses that they've enrolled. Like I know students who have band or all that, and they come home at 3 or 4. They have like all that. So this is in the evening. Got it? They eat a snack, they have their dinner, and they get ready. Okay, so are you excited as much as I am? Because I'm so excited. I started with 1 research program. Now I have 3. I mean, I can't wait to see these kids presenting and their papers getting published, right? So that's such a big honor, I mean, honor to mentor them, and I just love doing that. I mean, that's my whole purpose in life, is to transform kids. I mean, it can be any kid. I just love working with them, right? So are you excited, Maui? How is the energy?
Yes, they have a lot of questions waiting for you, Coach.
Sure. We'll get to them. Don't worry. Yeah. And this is the reality of the publication. Prince Charles had to wait for 70 years to become a king, right? It's not going to be 70 years, but it takes time. So please don't think that you submit your paper for publishing and it gets published overnight. This is a peer review process. It takes time, right? And they are third party organizations which we don't have any say on. Okay. And no, why do I have benefits? Okay, so I just wanted to tell you that conducting research and passion project rocks. Okay, and it's really transformational. I've seen it through over 300 students of mine, and I can tell you certainly how good it looks on their profile and on them as well, their learning process. And I have to show you this acceptance letter from Duke. Okay, it says, I enjoyed reviewing your application and the admissions committee was impressed by your innovative projects and research prowess. Got it? That's Duke. Handwritten letter from Duke. So this is how I've spoken to admissions officer when I go to college visits. I do have to go a lot, and I speak to admission officer. And one thing they want to see is like passion projects and research and something that they put effort in them and showed tangible results. So I pretty much have cracked the code. I mean, I cannot say that, but this is one of the components. And you build a stellar profile no college can refuse. Got it? It's not like you go knocking on colleges' doors. The colleges need to come knocking on your child's door. That's what I want to happen with, and that's my whole intention. And it's a proven success strategy, right? We teach them, we make them create projects, we sort of show them how to highlight that. So that's a process that certainly works in enhancing your child's learning and their profile. Got it?